My name's Al. Let's see, I'll tell you guys about myself. You don't know, I'm exhausted because I have got a couple kids, and I've got a dog that only I walk, and I've got a fucking house that's kicking my ass, and I've got a wife to go along with the whole fucking package, and it really is making me crazy. I think my house is really kicking my ass the most. I bought it at the worst possible time to buy a house, the height of the real estate market. That's when I was out looking. And I found a place in a soon-to-be gentrified neighborhood. I'm not sure if you guys know what that means. It means I bought a house for about $700,000 in a shitty neighborhood in hopes that I could fix it up someday and work on it. So eventually one day it might be worth $700,000. Tourists come here all the time. They rub it in my face because it's more affordable to live everywhere else. They give me this business. They're like, hey, man, you know what you can buy for $700,000 in Alabama? Look, in Alabama, whole thing. We got a library we don't even read. Listen to that shit. It's making me crazy. No one in my neighborhood is fixing up their place except me. I'm the only guy. I live across the street from Blue Tarp Guy. You ever seen that house? Where it rained and they couldn't afford to fix their shit. And so they put a blue tarp over what they thought was the problem area. And then it's like a temporary fix. And then 2 years later, it's still fucking up there. And it's making me crazy. It really is. I find myself scrutinizing every purchase that the guy makes. I'm like, are those fucking new Adidas? That son of a bitch. He comes up a couple months ago and he's like, hey, bro, you see Avatar? I'm like, did you fucking see Avatar? Fix your roof, dick face. Save up. What the fuck? I don't understand. I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be resourceful, and I'm doing a lot of the work myself. I went to go pick up my first day laborer the other day. Has anyone done that? You picked up a day laborer? But not for sex. It's not appropriate reaction to pick up a fucking day laborer. It's something that's just necessary. If you're gonna do it, if you want to go to Home Depot, and you want to go in the morning. It's very important. You want to get yourself a first-round draft pick. All right, you want to show up in the afternoon when the C team's out there. One-eye guy. No gracias. I prefer dos ojos on my day laborer, por favor. So I show up, Home Depot, in the morning. 30, 40 guys come running up to the car. I decide I'm going to try to be funny, and I'm going to fuck with them a little bit. My horrible Spanish. I say, Toto, I'll take everybody. And they're like, okay, this is great. What are we going to do? Clown car this fucking thing? And then they got it, and they started laughing. And then I said, I didn't know how to pick one, so I said, ¿Quién es el más fuerte? Who is the strongest? And then they all started spontaneously flexing. So I turned into day laborer Mr. Olympia all of a sudden. Hector es más fuerte. And that's funny. So now I gotta pick one. I just need one guy. So it becomes this weird Bachelor Rose ceremony where I gotta select my fella. And it really does become this day labor dating game show. It's like contestant number one, he's 5'2", but don't let that fool you. He can strap a refrigerator on his back like a 12-year-old puts on a summer school backpack. Meet Enrique! Contestant number two. Not only does he praise the Lord Jesus, his name's Jesus! Now let's do some question and answer, shall we? Contestant number one. What do you think about the disparaging comments made by General Stanley McChrystal about Barack Obama in the Rolling Stone magazine article? And also, what do you think about Barack Obama's reaction? I can do the plumbing. He can do the plumbing. Good answer. Contestant number two, same question. Okay, well, first of all, I don't think this could have come at a worse time for Barack Obama.
unemployment approaching 10% and his popularity waning. This is really horrible timing. As far as the comments made by General Stanley McChrystal, if this is indicative of the kind of decision-making that is going on in Afghanistan, it's appropriate that he is no longer holding down that position, and we're lucky to have somebody as capable as Stanley Petraeus available to help out. As far as the comments and the reaction by President Barack Obama, I feel that he had to assert himself as the commander-in-chief and also confirm the civilian control of the military. In conclusion, I'd like to add that I can also do the plumbing.
So, me and Jesus go driving off, and it's awkward. It's first date awkward. We want to be talking to each other, but we're not. My Spanish is horrible. You just heard some of it. His English is non-existent. We know we're cool guys. We want to be talking, but just nothing's happening. We're actually going from Glendale to Burbank to go to IKEA. You ever go to IKEA and you see the kitchen, right? You go and you see the kitchen, you're like, this is affordable and it's nice. Don't do it, all right? It's a trap. If you have a difficult time assembling the bookcase, do not ante up to the fucking kitchen. Stakes are high. Even Jesus knew. He goes, IKEA es el diablo. Even he was aware. He knew. So we're driving, and nothing's happened. We're looking at each other, blushing, and we want to be talking like guys want to be talking. You want to call somebody gay, you want to go talk about shortcuts, you pick up some liquor store sandwiches. That's what I suspect that you do when you're two guys working, but nothing's going on. Now, we need something to bond over, but luckily for a relationship, we spot an African-American woman at a bus stop with humongous boobs. Big, racism-mending boobs. Jesus sees the boobs, I see the boobs. Jesus turns to me and takes a chance and says, ¿Te gusta chichis negra? I got this. Sí, me gusta chichis negra. Jesus, me gusta. Friendship formed. At that moment, I realized I had more in common with this day laborer than my two brothers and my wife. And we held that with us for the rest of the day. It was amazing what it did for a relationship, and you really do need a buddy in this situation. I'm not sure if anyone's assembled a large amount of IKEA shit at one time, but it's one of the most frustrating things you'll ever do in your entire life. I was so pissed off at one point I was ready to drive back to IKEA, kidnap anybody in a yellow and blue polo, take them hostage, do like this Baghdad-style videotape with an Allen wrench to their temple, saying either this shit gets assembled in a line properly or this fucker dies. And throw in some meatballs, because Jesus is starving. No matter how frustrated I got, I was at my worst moment where I was putting together a pantry that was in a box this thick. And this shit was everywhere. It was fucking horrible. And I got up and I had a tear in my eye and I walked away and I was just about to lose it when Jesus caught me and goes, "Hey, chichis negra." Thanks, man. I'm sorry. I forgot. Chichis negra. You're right.